So, how did you spend your time? How long were you gone, and how did you spend your time?
So I was, it's interesting. I quit in July of 2017. I traveled for probably the first 5 months. And then I came back
Mhm.
home for a month and then we traveled again for another month or two. That's kind of was like the thing. I traveled for a month or two, come back home for a month. But within like the first 6 months, I started doing some consulting because I was like testing out like, what can I do? I still want to work. I just didn't want to be in the same corporate environment. And so I started out consulting, figuring out, who did I want to work with? How did I want to help them? And I did some, foundational marketing strategy and branding work with small businesses. And so that also just kept my mind stimulated and it kept me fine tuning to like what I wanted to do. And then, fast forward a couple years later, I started working with like startup organizations. So I worked with a startup organization in the cannabis industry doing marketing consulting, doing market research actually for the cannabis industry. So doing focus groups and surveys. And that was like kind of my foray back into work. And I kind of pivoted into the cannabis industry, which is something I never would have thought I would have gotten into. But I think, like, again, my openness from my time away of like, there's more than one way to earn a living. There's more than one way to live a life. I had this openness to trying different things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing in your story, like, being away from kind of the routine and the normal and being in new countries and meeting new people and seeing new ways of living, all of this stuff, like, a lasting impact of this time was this kind of, like, more expansive thinking or, like, I don't know, a curiosity that comes with travel, of course, but being open to a lot of other possibilities beyond what you would have even imagined before.
Absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head saying like curiosity. I think I'm a naturally curious person. And I just basically, travel gave me the opportunity to like be curious and learn new things. And I think that when we're curious, like that's when new ideas come in. Things that I never would have thought of start to unfold. And that curiosity is still with me. I mean, that's why I've like, I have my own business as well. I run a cannabis magazine for women. I'm always interested in talking to new people and understanding like, what they do and how they live their life. It's interesting though, being back like in, I'll say the States, but I've been back for a while now. But I notice when you meet people, people always ask, like, first off, what do you do? And I'm just like, when I meet people, that is like the last question I ask because I think that what we do, it doesn't define who we are, but we're so trained to identify with our career or our way of making money as who we are as people. And I usually
Right.
ask people, like, what do you like to do? Or what do you do for fun? Or something interesting about, something about them that I may have learned in the first few minutes. But I think that it's kind of that mindset of identification with yourself as what you do for a living is shifting. I think we see it a lot with Gen Z, and and I take a lot of learning from them. People criticize them, but I do take learning from them as well.
I totally agree that we need to learn a lot from Gen Z about not tying our worth to our careers. And I know that I'm still someone who wants to find a sense of purpose in the work that I do, but it was really hard to try to make that happen like while I was in a job, and explore that side of it while you're actually doing the day to day. And I think for me, like taking time away gave me space to process and explore and regain my curiosity, which I think I had kind of lost a little bit along the way.
Yeah, I think taking a break also gives you an opportunity to like reflect and like step away from the day to day and actually take a step back and look at your life, your work, what you've accomplished. Like, when we're working, we just go, 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 go. We don't realize sometimes how great we are and what we've done. And so when you take that break away, and especially talking to other people and you start talking about what you do, like I was talking to people and I was like, yeah, I did this. And they're like amazed. And I'm like, oh no, that was just my job. But yeah, it's like, yo, you are amazing. You have done some great things. And so, but taking that break gives you that, that moment of clarity and that perspective to be able to appreciate your value and what you have contributed to an organization, but also what you've learned and how it's like shaped you as a human.